Greetings to all. Beta, class 7. We have started chapter 1 of civics, that is on on equality, and we have discussed about the story of Kanta. Then yesterday we discussed about story of one Dalit child, Om Prakash Valmiki. We are discussing here about inequalities, caste inequalities existing in our society. We have discussed that how a small child of class 4 was made to clean the school playground, then the rooms of the school, and the child started sweating. He was not allowed to drink water, and his friends also, his classmates also used to discriminate him. He was made sit at the last and sometimes nearby the door. So such kind of caste distinctions exist in our society. But if we talk about today, we find that if it's a kind of thinking that the people in villages, they believe in caste system more than the people living in cities, but it is not so. If we see the matrimonial column in the newspapers, then we come to know that so-called uh, well-educated people in cities, even they believe in caste system in a strong way. So we can say that caste inequalities still exist in our society. So let us discuss the second story, that is Hanji. So the second story is Hanji beta. This is the page number 7th page of the chapter. Yes, this is Hanji. The second story is based on an incident that took place in one of the India's larger cities and is common practice in most parts of the country. It is a story about Mr. and Mrs. Ansari, who were looking to rent an apartment in the city. They had the money, and so paying the rent was no problem. They went to a property dealer to help to find a place. The dealer informed them that he knew about quite a few apartments that are available for rent. They visited the first apartment, and the Ansaris liked it very much and decided to take it. However, when the landlady found out their names, she made an excuse about how she could not rent the house to someone who ate meat because the building did not have any non vegetarian residents. Both the Ansaris and the property dealer were surprised to hear this because they could smell fish being cooked in the neighbor's house. The same excuse was repeated in the second and the third apartments. Finally, the property dealer told them that they might want to change their names and call themselves Mr. and Miss Kumar. The Ansaris were reluctant to do this and decided to look some more. In the end, it took a whole month for looking at apartments before they found a landlady who was willing to give them a place on rent. So, in the first case, we have discussed caste inequality. Here is some other kind of case, like Mr. and Mrs. Ansari. They were looking for a house. They wanted a house on rent. Then they contacted a property dealer. Then they visited some apartments. In the very first apartment, the house was very nice, and the Ansaris liked it. They wanted to get the house, but the landlady, when she came to know that they are from the other religious community, she denied to give her house to them. Why? Because they belong to another religious community, and she made an excuse that these people ate meat. These are in non-vegetarian, and in their building, in their apartment, no vegetarian people were living. But Ansaris and that property dealer, they were surprised to listen, because they could smell fish being cooked in the neighbor's house, in a neighboring place. So they came to know that why that landlady, she refused to give them apartment on rent. It happens in the second case also, then in the third apartment also. Then the property dealer asked both the people, or both the persons, to change their names to Mr. and Miss Kumar, but they didn't agree. Then at last, after 1 month, approximate 1 month, they could get a house. So, see how the people belonging to different religious community found it difficult to get a house on rent even. This is also a social discrimination. First, we have discussed about caste inequality, and the second example is of yes, religious inequality. Hanji. Next is recognizing dignity. Dignity, respect, worth. You have understood. Hanji beta. This is uh, the next page is it's yeah, recognizing dignity. Hanji. You have understood by now that the caste we are born into, the religion we practice, the class background we come from, whether we are male or female, these are often the things that determine why some people are treated unequally. Om Prakash Valmiki and the Ansaris are being treated unequally on the basis of differences of caste and religion. Quite true. We have discussed, or we have seen in both the cases, that uh, Valmiki, Om Prakash Valmiki, and Mr. and Miss Ansari, they were treated unequally on the basis of their social background. Next is, when persons are treated unequally, their dignity is violated, because the people, they find that they are not being respected in the society, and the other people, they try to insult them. The dignity of both Om Prakash Valmiki and the Ansaris was violated because of the way in which they were treated. Really, in school we consider all the children equal, but when the teacher, the headmaster, discriminated a child on the basis of caste, then see, this is inequality. Like the child was treated unequally, he was considered as of low quality, of low social status. Then the same happened in the case of Ansaris. They were also uh, not given due respect by the lady of the house. By picking on him and making him sweep the school because of his caste, Om Prakash Valmiki's schoolmates and teachers hurt his dignity badly and made him feel as if he was less than equal to all other students in the school. Really, being child, Om Prakash Valmiki could not do very little about the situation that he was in. It was his father who, on seeing his son sweep, felt angry by this unequal treatment and confronted the teacher. The Ansari's dignity was also hurt when persons refused to lease their apartments to them. However, when the property dealer suggested that they change their name, it was their dignity or self respect that made them refuse this suggestion. Really, why didn't they change their names? They knew it that if they change their name, it means a kind of insult to their religion. So they didn't want to lose this respect. the people, they respected their religion, they wanted to be what they really are. That's why they refused to change their names. So, in both the examples, like Om Prakash Valmiki and Ansaris, we found that caste inequalities or the inequalities based on religion are even or are still in practice in our society. So, uh, for today, it is sufficient. If you find any difficulty, or if you have any doubt, any confusion, then can discuss with me in the class tomorrow. Have a nice day.